Today in our final touch, they call it the annual St. Nicholas Run in the streets of Mickendorf, Germany.
The minimum costume requirement for the 1,200 runners that turn out is a red jacket and a hat. But many of the participants dressed up as Krampuses, the woolly creatures with the scary masks, come out this time of the year to make sure the town's children are being good. And they have sticks and bells to help make an impression as well. The masks weigh up to 22 pounds. The run is said to be the biggest such race in Germany.
That would make me run faster if that was coming up behind me.
And it'll make the kids behave too when these guys come up to them. All right, stay with us. We're gonna have more scary stories like this one coming your way. What is going on there? Yeah, those are some.
All the kids seem fine. Nobody seems too scared like they're used to it. That's good. Well, that'll do it. That'll do it for us at 4 o'clock. News 3 at 5. Well, look at that pretty sunset. That's a live picture. News 3 at 5 starts right now.
And how a community is coming together to help support a Hollandale family after their home fire. Madison
police are investigating another armed robbery on the city's west side after 2 armed carjackings at daycares in the last week.
Governor Walker will have the option to act on lame duck bills. We'll tell you when the deadline is.
This is News 3 at 5.
Thanks for staying with us, everyone. Madison police are investigating another armed robbery on the city's west side, this time in the parking lot of the Walgreens on Raymond Road.
It comes after 2 armed carjackings at daycare centers in just the last week. Amanda Quintana live on Raymond Road with why police say this is alarming. Amanda?
Yes, well, that most recent robbery happened right here in this parking lot behind me. It was a family, grandparents, their 2 daughters, and a grandchild that were getting into the car when a man came up to them with a gun. Now, the man grabbed the grandfather by the throat and threw him to the ground, injuring his hip. He got away with 3 purses, but unlike the 2 robberies at nearby daycares, he did not take the car. Police believe those 2 daycare robberies are connected, but they're still trying to figure out if this most recent one is related to those.
And these should be safe places outside of a drugstore, at daycare centers. We should be able to go to and fro from these places without worrying that someone's going to come up with a gun and rob us.
In all of these incidents, children were in the cars. Despain calling the crimes brazen and unheard of, really, for Madison. Although the descriptions of the gunmen are similar, they are pretty generic, but MPD has some good leads on the daycare carjackings. They are hoping for some arrests soon. Now, at 6 o'clock, we will hear from the owner of Best Cleaners here. Now, she says she was not really surprised when she heard about this crime that happened here, but it is making her think about moving her store.
Amanda Quintana reporting live along Raymond Road near Whitney Way. Amanda, thank you. A single dad is doing all he can to keep a roof over the heads of his 5 children, which is a lot harder now that the house he poured himself into is completely gone after a fire this past weekend.
Our Madeline O'Neill has more from Iowa County, where the community is doing all it can to help out.
After a vacation, a lot of us are just looking forward to getting home. But imagine coming home to this.
I moved around about every other year of my life, and I wanted somewhere to live forever.
For Chris Madison, home means everything.
Oh, I love everything about it.
It's where he spent 10 years building up what was a fixer-upper.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
And where he raises 5 of his kids on his own.
I'm dad and mom and a teacher and a friend and the gardener, you know.
These are the only pictures he has left of his children.
They're great kids.
Just a few days ago, the 6 were looking forward to coming home after a Florida vacation.
It's really a good feeling. I really wanted to come home and lay in my own bed.
A fire destroyed those dreams and nearly all the family's possessions along with it.
It's surreal.
Firefighters spent 15 hours here battling the house fire that began early Saturday morning.
It's devastating to see.
Madison was still far away from home when he learned what happened.
What if we were all up there?
Once the smoke cleared and the family got back from Florida,
You couldn't imagine.
it became clear that you don't need a house to come home.
The outpouring has been crazy.
Jerry Dasher, fire chief of the all-volunteer Hollandale Fire Department, put up a Facebook post looking for help.
My phone keeps ringing every 2 minutes.
Everyone's here to help. I'll be the chief of the fire department here. worked his whole birthday trying to put out the fire in my house.
While Madison isn't looking for charity,
He's a man of working for everything he has.
the small community of Hollandale can't help but give back, donating clothes, offering to buy food, anything to make the family feel at home.
It's nice to feel the love of a community.
Because while the house is destroyed,
Told my son Isaac, you know, he's worried about Santa. It's like, Santa finds you anywhere.
Madison's home is the community he chooses to be part of.
For the rest of my life, absolutely.
That's found right here in Hollandale.
Yes, we have each other and we have the community.
If you're looking to help, you can contact the Hollandale Fire Department. You can find them on Facebook. Reporting in Hollandale, Madeline O'Neill, WISC News 3.
Investigators haven't determined the cause of the fire. Community members donated a storage unit to the family to collect donations in the town of Hollandale, and the Hollandale Fire Department suggests donating clothes or Christmas presents for the kids. We'll have more information on our website, channel3000.com.
Dodge County deputies believe speed and alcohol are factors in a deadly crash. Happened just before 7 Sunday morning, State Highway 1660 near Oxbow Road. The investigators are saying that a 38-year-old Madison man was driving, left the highway, hit a culvert. He was extricated from the vehicle, taken to a hospital where he later died. The crash, again, remains under investigation.
Let's head outside now for a check on the weather. Gary Canolti is on the weather patio. Gary?
Pretty chilly out here. We've got a little bit of a breeze blowing. The breeze will probably die down later on tonight, but actually the temperatures were pretty close to normal today. Let's start out by taking a look at Weather Track. You can see that skies have cleared out pretty nicely over much of southern Wisconsin. There were just a few mid and high level clouds coming on through. Now early this morning, temperatures started out in the single digits and teens, and there were some areas of fog, especially south of Madison, that could have made some slippery road surfaces. But high temperatures today have been in the middle 30s, so a lot of that frost that formed on the rooftops and also on the trees has melted. Right now, temperatures right at freezing here in Madison, a little colder to our north and to our west. There is an alert day in the forecast, though, for Wednesday for the possibility for some light freezing rain and light snow. I don't think it's going to be a major storm system, but it could lead to some slippery travel conditions, so keep that in mind if you're out traveling on Wednesday. Otherwise, look for temperatures to drop off to about 20 by early tomorrow morning with mainly clear skies overnight, and we'll see plenty of sunshine for tomorrow, very similar to today with a high temperature of 35. That's your first alert forecast.
All right, Gary, thank you. One person is in custody as police continue to look into a nightclub shooting that happened over the weekend. Officers were called to Visions on East Washington Avenue near Stoughton Road around bar time Sunday for reports of a large fight. About 40 or 50 people were there at the time. While officers were on the way, 4 people were shot, 1 was stabbed. Everyone is expected to be okay.
A Madison woman was arrested early Saturday morning after a homeowner found her standing in her dining room. The Riva Road homeowner had left the front door unlocked for her daughter to get inside, but she knew it wasn't her daughter. The woman went to investigate and found 38-year-old Peggy Fleming standing in her dining room. Fleming left, but shortly after that, the homeowner realized her wallet was missing. Officers caught up to Fleming and arrested her on tentative charges of burglary and obstructing for providing a fake name.
The accused Russian spy who posed with Governor Scott Walker appears to have reached a plea deal with federal prosecutors. Maria Butina is accused of trying to infiltrate Republican political circles and party leaders during the 2016 campaign in order to advance Russian interests. Prosecutors have said the former American University student was in touch with powerful political Russians about their activities in the U.S. Today, her attorneys and prosecutor filed a 2-page request for a change of plea hearing as soon as tomorrow. Butina has maintained her innocence and has been in jail since her arrest for illegally acting as a foreign agent.
We're learning more tonight about Governor Walker's deadline for the lame duck session bills.
Those measures would take away certain powers from the governor-elect Tony Evers and Attorney General-elect Josh Kaul. Rose Schmidt live at the state capitol to explain what's next. Rose?
That's right. Well, Governor Walker has several options. He can sign the bills, he can veto them, partially veto them, or he can do nothing at all. But the very last day that Walker is able to act on these bills would be December 27th. But that's assuming, of course, that he doesn't call for them to be delivered to his office sooner than state law would require. After measures are cleared by the full legislature, they head to the governor's desk. But so far, the ones passed as part of a marathon lame duck session haven't made it there yet. Governor Scott Walker's office confirmed to us that he has not formally received the bills, but said the governor is reviewing the legislation and we will advise when he takes any action.
We're waiting to see what he's going to do.
Some powers would be stripped from the incoming Governor Tony Evers and incoming Attorney General Josh Kaul under the Republican proposals. According to state law, Walker has more time than you might think to act on these measures. The Senate Chief Clerk will deliver them no later than December 20th, unless Walker requests them before that. Senator John Erpenbach is hoping for a veto and says Walker may be thinking about the legacy he'll leave and the chance that this may hurt him if he tries to run again for political office.
Usually they remember you for some of the last things you do, and if the last thing he does is sign legislation taking away authority from the incoming governor and incoming attorney general, that's not necessarily a good legacy to leave.
Governor-elect Tony Evers told Meet the Press Sunday that he was not optimistic the current governor would veto the bills, but said Walker wouldn't commit one way or the other. In the past, Walker has signaled his support. If Governor Walker does not take action on these bills by the end of the workday on December 27th, then those measures would automatically become law. And top Republican leaders at the state capitol were not available for comment today on this matter.
All right, Rose Schmidt live at the Capitol. Rose, thank you. The American Family Championship Golf Tournament at University Ridge each summer continues to rake in big money for local charities. Today, Bodie O'Rourke, a former patient at the American Family Children's Hospital, unwrapped the total amount raised for charities this year for the tournament at over $2 million. The tournament has now topped well over $4 million in charity money raised in just 3 years as an existing tournament. Over 80 local charities will share those funds. The tournament moves into year 4 this summer with Toby Keith headlining a concert Friday night, June 21st at Bree Stevens Field. Tickets are on sale now.
Dane County's FEMA Disaster Recovery Center will be closing this Friday at 2 p.m. The center was established to assist Wisconsinites dealing with damage from this summer's historic flooding. Though the physical location will be gone, you can still apply for FEMA assistance through the 17th. Officials say that it's important that people apply for aid before it's too late.
If they had any type of damages, even if it was seepage within their basement, any other thing, register with FEMA. People have to be proactive. They have to register with FEMA. And if FEMA refers them to the SBA, they must continue the process.
FEMA has received over 1,700 applications in Wisconsin so far. That's over $7,900,000 approved. Capitol Brewery built a how do you say that?
That's a keg Xmas tree.
A keg Xmas tree. Thank you. In its beer garden to celebrate the release of a new beer. The tree was assembled using 60 kegs and was topped with a plywood cutout of the Capitol building as a star. The brewery says the structure was built to bring attention to its new Capitol WISC-TV Wheat Ale, which features Wisconsin cranberries. Customers can see the tree when the cranberry ale will be tapped for the first time on December 20th.
I can't believe you didn't know that was a keg Xmas tree. Good stuff. 3 Wisconsin Badgers named to the Associated Press All-America team today. Sophomore running back Jonathan Taylor and senior offensive guard Bo Benshaw were named to the first-team offense, while senior offensive guard Michael Dieter was selected to the second-team offense. Taylor adding another piece of hardware to his long list of awards this year. Last week, he won the Doak Walker Award, which goes to the nation's best running back. He was the 4th Badger to win that award, along with Ron Dane, Monte Ball, and Melvin Gordon, who won it in 2014. More to come at 5. Up next, the president defending himself against allegations that he violated campaign finance laws.
President Trump's administration will have a new look in 2019 following more staffing shakeups.
When the day started rough for the Dow, but they bounced back, gained 34. The NASDAQ up 51 and change. The S&P up almost 5. We'll be right back. Federal prosecutors in New York filed court documents Friday alleging individual one, believed to be the president, directed payments to two women during the 2016 presidential campaign.
The president tweeted this morning the payments were a simple private transaction and it was done correctly by a lawyer. Mr. Trump's former personal attorney, Michael Cohen, admitted he was the liaison for those payments, and he revealed he had contact with Russian officials during the presidential campaign to talk about building a Trump Tower in Moscow.
Some of the things that have come out over the last couple weeks, particularly with regards to Mr. Cohen, have led the committee to go back and interview witnesses or to attempt to interview additional witnesses again.
There's a very real prospect that on the day Donald Trump leaves office, the Justice Department may indict him, that he may be the first president in quite some time to face the real prospect of jail time.
Special counsel Robert Mueller gave favorable comments on Cohen's cooperation, while federal prosecutors have suggested a lengthy jail sentence of 42 months for Cohen's role in the payments.
President Trump's administration will have a new look in 2019 following more staff shakeups. The president parting ways with White House Chief of Staff John Kelly at the end of the year and says he is interviewing candidates for that job. Vice President Mike Pence's Chief of Staff Nick Ayers was the leading candidate to replace Kelly, but he has withdrawn. He did so over the weekend.
We'll be announcing who will be taking John's place. It might be on an interim basis. I'll be announcing that over the next day or two.
Sources say the revised Chief of Staff shortlist includes North Carolina Congressman Mark Meadows, Office of Management and Budget Director Mick Mulvaney, and Acting Attorney General Matthew Whitaker.
The southeastern part of the country is cleaning up after a weekend snowstorm that dumped more than a foot of snow in some places. The wintry blast dropped almost 20 inches of snow across parts of the Carolinas. The weather turned deadly yesterday when police say a tree fell on a car in a Charlotte suburb, killing the driver. Airports from Georgia to Virginia raced to keep taxiways clear and planes de-iced, while passengers inside the terminals faced more than 1,800 cancellations.
Well, around here, we had that chilly Friday, but, you know, things have been pretty decent, pretty quiet. Gary Canalti joining us in the backyard patio.
Can't complain, and let's just hope we don't all make up for it at once. But the weather pattern right now looks to be very quiet, leading almost all the way up, as far as we can see, to the Christmas holiday. Now, as we start out, we do have an alert day in the forecast for Wednesday. This is for some light snow, maybe some light freezing rain that could lead to slippery travel conditions. A lot of it's just going to depend on the temperatures. This may start out as light snow, maybe change over to light freezing rain or light rain, and then the earlier it ends, the better the chances that we won't even see a change over to rain or have a little better chance for freezing rain. But it could bring up to an inch of snow accumulation. And again, you know, if there's any freezing rain or freezing drizzle mixed in, that could lead to slippery road surfaces. As far as snowfall potential is concerned, you can see we're not looking at very much. This is through early Thursday morning, less than a half inch in Madison, maybe around an inch up through parts of central Wisconsin. But right now, you can see it's quiet out here. Live view from the Edgewater Sky Cam in downtown Madison. Clear skies and just a nice day today. High temperature 36, actually 4 degrees above average, and the low temperature of 13, 5 degrees below normal, but even that will come up. And right now our temperature is at 32 degrees. Skies are mostly clear. Winds are out of the west-southwest at 6 miles per hour. Wind chill at 26 degrees. High temperatures over the next 7 days. Remember, the last couple of weeks we've been showing you below normal temperatures almost day after day after day. Well, now we're looking at above normal temperatures. And the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook we were showing you from last week was indicating this. And this is right on track. Not a big amount above normal, but the average high temperature will be right around 30 degrees. And we should be looking at high temperatures, generally the mid to upper 30s over the next few days. The 8 to 14-day temperature outlook that now leads us right up to just before the Christmas holiday, all the way through December 24th, calling for above normal temperatures almost over the entire lower 48 states, with the highest probabilities centered just to our east over parts of Michigan and New England. Precipitation expected to be above normal by about a 40% chance. That's not a terribly high percentage, but the weather pattern looks like it'll be a little more active. Some of that precipitation may be in the form of rain rather than snow, so the prospects for a white Christmas may not be that high. Low temperatures this morning, generally in the single digits and teens. We had that fog across southern Wisconsin that produce some very nice pictures and some great frost on the trees, but also some slippery road surfaces. Current temperatures right now right around freezing here, colder to our north and to our west. Upper level winds still from the northwest. That big storm system in the southeast now pushing out to sea. The next weather system moving into the western part of the country. That'll be moving eastward, but will bring us just some very light precipitation. No major storm systems. High pressure located just to our south and west. And you can see temperatures teens, 20s, 30s. You have to get back into parts of Kansas before you see temperatures in the 40s. So our forecast for tonight calls for mostly clear skies, not quite as cold. Low temperature dropping at 20, and then tomorrow 35 for high. So very similar to today with mostly sunny skies. Future track shows those skies mostly clear overnight. Temperatures dropping to around 20. Plenty of sunshine for tomorrow. High temperatures in the middle 30s. Now clouds moving tomorrow night. Could see some flurries or freezing drizzle by early on Wednesday morning with low temperatures in the mid-20s. And then Wednesday we could see some light snow, maybe mixed with a little bit of light freezing rain. But the very latest computer models moving that precipitation out a little earlier, so that would lower the freezing rain chances. Highs will be in the mid-30s. Snowfall amounts again less than an inch. Highest totals probably in the northern parts of our viewing area. 7 to 10 day forecast calls for those temperatures to be slightly above average, generally in the 30s. Look for quiet weather for next weekend through the first part of next week. Maybe a chance of flurries from late Wednesday into Thursday of next week. As we take a look at first alert traffic, not too bad out there. That's the Beltline view at Park Street from the DOT cameras. And right now we're just seeing some slowdowns in the eastbound direction between about West Broadway and back toward Seminole Highway. Westbound delays from around Fish Hatchery Road to John Nolan Drive. Travel times right now pretty tolerable. 21 minutes eastbound from University Avenue to the interstate on the Beltline. 17 minutes back in the westbound direction down to Janesville from the Beltline and I-3990. That's a 27-minute commute, and it's 17 minutes out to Sauk City and Sun Prairie on US 12 and US 151 respectively. That's your first alert traffic.
All right, thanks, Gary.
All right, they are a popular gift this time of the year, but are at-home genetic tests right for you? What doctors say you should consider before taking one of these tests. Stay with us. Welcome back. Those genetic test kits have become popular holiday gifts. While many are curious about their family background, some tests can also give a better idea of potential health problems.
Chris Martinez introduces us to one woman who says the test may have saved her life.
When Sarah Altschul received a 23andMe genetic test as a gift, she was eager to find out more about her health.
I wanted to see if I had the Alzheimer's gene because that runs in my family.
Instead, her test revealed she carried a BRCA gene mutation, greatly increasing her risk of breast cancer.
It's just a lot to process because, you know, one day you think you're healthy and then you're still healthy, but you have this really high risk.
A follow-up with a genetic counselor confirmed her results.
My cautionary note is, do you really want to know?
Dr. Gail Vance from the College of American Pathologists says while these popular tests can be potentially life-saving, consumers need to ask some serious questions first.
This may be information for yourself, but truly it's information for your family as well. And maybe your family members don't want to know about this.
Dr. Vance also stresses following up with your doctor to interpret the results.
And I say, okay, you know me, you have all my numbers in the chart. How does this fit into my health care plan?
Sarah chose to have a preventative double mastectomy just over 2 months ago.
Now my chance of developing breast cancer is under 1%.
She's sharing her journey on social media.
I decided to talk about like the good, the bad, the ugly through all of this to help people understand what it means to have the mutation, to help other women.
Raising awareness to take charge of your health. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Simi Valley, California.
And Dr. Vance says consumers should also make sure an accredited lab is processing the test to ensure quality results.
Stay with us. We'll have another check of your forecast in just a moment.
All is quiet on the weather front.
Yeah, we do have an alert day in the forecast for Wednesday for the possibility for some light freezing rain and light snow. Right now, temperatures right around freezing here in Madison, a little colder to our north and to our west. Wind chills right now, teens and 20s, but look for those temperatures to stay in the 30s for the rest of the week. Again, some mixed precipitation Wednesday, maybe late Thursday into early Friday, and then quiet weather through the weekend into much next week.
Gary, thank you. We'll have more updates on News 3 at 6 in 30 minutes. Stay tuned for the CBS Evening News.